Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing basically part 2 of Total Drama All-Stars My Way. So let's just jump right into it. If you haven't seen part 1, you should definitely go check that out first. Yeah, so the episode starts off, Chris announces that Izzy will be joining, and since the Vultures are down by a member, she will be joining their team. So yeah, anyways, Duncan attempts to make a secret alliance with Izzy, but, she says no, because Izzy's, Izzy. Chris explains that today is a gross eating challenge. There are 5 dishes, and a new team member has to eat each dish. First team to eat 3 dishes wins immunity. So the player for the Vultures sitting out is Lindsay. They all know she's gonna gag and throw up and whatever. And for the hamsters, it's Noah, because, he's basically convinced everyone he's not good at challenges, but he's smart, so, basically he's convinced everyone so he doesn't have to do all this stuff, right? The first players eating the dish are Duncan and Owen, and they are eating a Season 1 favorite, the beef testicles. I found that hilarious. No one's happy about it, but Owen finishes first, winning the hamsters a point. Next dish is toenail crackers with toe jam dip. The players eating this dish are Joe and Lashana. And Joe is able to finish first and wins her team a point, making it 1-1. Next dish is stick of deodorant. A lot of these are based off the Uncha disgustingness. Just plain old stick of deodorant. Gwen and Zoe will be eating these dishes. And Gwen is able to finish first, giving the Vultures the lead, at the score being 2-1. Next dish is a mint and paper sandwich. The players are Heather and Brick. And take a guess who is able to finish first. Brick. What a shocker. Heather doesn't eat gross stuff. And then the final dish is a cockroach smoothie. Izzy and Cameron are drinking. Cameron can't stomach it. Izzy wins. Vultures win immunity. And then they go to the... And obviously, everyone here likes them, but Cameron is kind of a liability, and Noah's able to convince, let's say Noah's able to convince Lashana over to his side, because they're all from the OG cast, and they get Cameron to go bye-bye. Unfortunate, but whatever. Moving on to next episode, episode 14, Dodge Owen. Noah's in confessional, hoping that the merge is near, as he's made many enemies. In fact, a lot of his team doesn't like him, and the other team also doesn't like him. Chris says that today's challenge is a TI favorite, dodgeball. Vultures choose Heather to sit out because it's 5v5. And also, the hamsters have 5 players. First 3 rounds go to the Vultures. Duncan has his wrestling you guys strategy, whatever. During the 3rd round, hamsters learn actually that they just eliminate Duncan, and the team basically falls apart. Take the next 2 rounds, tying it up 2-2. The Vultures are able to make a comeback, eliminate everyone except Owen. And then Owen, the crazy man he is, uses his crazy Owen powers and takes everyone out. And wins immunity. Just like that for his team. And then, so the Vultures, are, basically talking about Lindsay's the weakest link, so adios. So yeah. Next episode, End All, Merge All. And actually, yeah, so everyone here, final 10, make the merge. In episode 15, I feel like that's a pretty good time for the merge to happen. We've had lots of team members, right? So, yeah. Let's get everyone here into the merge. And these are no longer needed. Adios. Alright. End all, merge all. Chris begins the episode by telling it's merge. He explains that today's challenge brought the campers can meet in duos. It will begin with a potato sack race to the dock of shame. Then a race around the island. Whether you're swimming, building a raft, or whatnot, you can do whatever. First duo to make it around the island wins immunity. Each player gets a duo. Duos are Noah and Owen. For obvious reasons. They're good friends. Duncan and Gwen, they're dating. So yeah, we'll throw them in together. Brick and Zoe. Basically, because, they're the only 2 nice guys left from Revenge. So, yeah. Lashana and Izzy, because I guess Izzy kind of likes her. And then Joe and Heather, basically, because they're the last people left. Race begins. Duncan and Gwen take the lead to the first dock, while Owen basically just drags Noah around. as Owen would. Duncan and Gwen are near the island, but Joe and Heather actually come back and take the lead and win individual immunity. Kristen tells them Twist they'll be voting for people as 2-0s. That's right, so we're going to have a double elimination. And that team that people are worried about is mostly Izzy, and Lashana unfortunately gets grouped in with that and is out, giving us 8 players going to 16 episode. Kind of like the Amazon race from World Tour. So yeah, today's challenge is a survival challenge. Chris is at an award ceremony and Chef is nowhere to be found, and they're left alone. This is basically like the horror movie challenge. And they're basically told just stay at the campfire pit. Heather says if there's no judge, there's no challenge, no reason to not relax, and went to sunbathe. While there, she has a bag thrown over her head, and she's out. Adios. Next is Noah and Owen. They go to the mess hall because, Owen's hungry. Noah stays outside while Owen goes inside. Owen has a bag thrown in his head. Screams Noah's name, hence the title of the episode. Noah runs in and also has a bag thrown in his head. They're both gunners. Next up, Duncan gets bored, leaves, and gets eliminated. Down to 4 remaining survivors. After they've not heard from Noah and Owen, Brick goes to find his team. Once Brick is out of sight, he falls and he's out, because he's got to take care of his team, right? With just Joe, Gwen, and Zoe left, they get worried, and Joe says that she knows it's a ruse. Zoe gets scared. Gwen says that they should stay where they are, the group. Joe counters and goes off with Zoe, both being eliminated, with Gwen winning immunity. At the campfire ceremony, everyone's discussing, and they know who pisses them off the most. Heather, goodbye. Nobody likes you. You are annoying. Episode 17, Chef Ordeal. Today's challenge is to cross the island and touch the pole, just like the race in TDR. Catches, Chef is hunting you, right? You're hit with the leech ball. You're hit with the leech ball from the leech gun. You're out. The first person to touch the pole or last player standing wins immunity. Chef has a track on everyone, except for Gwen, since she did win the last challenge. I figured, let's give a little bit of a reward, right? The game starts, and then Duncan, Noah, Gwen, and Owen all team up together to move as a team. And Chef quickly notices that, there's 3 people in one area. Because obviously he doesn't see Gwen because she doesn't have a tracker. And so he finds them. Duncan and Noah are able to escape. Let's say Noah pushes Owen in front of him. Duncan's Duncan, right? But Gwen and Owen are both eliminated from the challenge. After that, Duncan decides to leave Noah, because don't need a team member. Duncan. Zoe fears going commando and just decides to eliminate herself. Rightfully so. Last time this challenge happened, she did go commando, and she did not like it. After about an hour, Brick gets eliminated. Let's say he had to go to the bathroom, or he got in the dark and peed his pants. Who knows? Noah's making an alliance with Joe for a Brains vs. Brawn finale. Right then, Chef walks up to them, sees both of them, and eliminates them, winning Duncan immunity. Fallen players are safe. Basically, Duncan, Joe, Owen, Zoe, Brick, Noah. Sorry. People probably assume that Duncan and Gwen are going to make a really good alliance since they're boyfriend-girlfriend, right? So, peace out, Gwen. Sorry. Next up, Aftermath, Team Not Stars. People picking their teams, whatever, just random stuff. Somebody does get advantaged. They do a little bit of challenge for a eliminated player to try to give an advantage to a player remaining in the game. And Hanjo wins. He gives it to Joe, thinking she's the strongest player left. So Joe has a little bit of an advantage. And it's actually that she has an immunity statue she can use to stay in the game all the way to the final 3. So if she's voted out, she's safe. Episode 19, That's Off the Can. Chris explains that it's a very similar challenge to from TDR. The campers have to bike to 4 different landmarks on the island, put a logo on it. First player to do, though, and return to the Dock of Shame, where they started, wins immunity. The challenge begins. All the campers make it to the first landmark. Duncan and Owen leave. The rest of the players make it. Duncan, I think, would just have a really good bike because they still had to build their bikes, I think. And Owen had a pretty good bike, so I figured that he also would do pretty well. These guys, I don't really see like they could really build a bike. So yeah. As the players make it, and they make an alliance because Duncan and Owen are both finalists. Owen won season 1, and then Duncan won season 2, or got second place, depending on what country you're in. Either way, they're both finalists. At the next landmark, Duncan takes the lead. By the third, Duncan's bike falls apart, giving Owen the lead. But then, out of nowhere, Joe, not wanting either to win, because they're both finalists, right, comes out of nowhere, takes the fourth landmark to the Dock of Shame, and she wins immunity. So with everyone on the chopping block, the Alliance basically are picking between Duncan and Owen. They think if it's a popularity contest, Owen would win. Owen's pretty got a strong part in popularity, but Duncan's a big challenge beast, and if it's a challenge, probably has a big edge. And then in the end, they vote out Duncan. And it's only been a popularity once. Every other time, it's been a challenge. So they figured, let's do that. Moving on to episode 20, Dinner of Disgustingness. Basically, Brunch of Disgustingness Part 2. I like grossing challenges. I think they could be fun to watch. So yeah, Brunch of Disgustingness. Some meals will be previous meals from disgusting food challenges, and some are brand new to keep things spicy. In each round, sorry about that, guys. In each round, the last person to finish is out. The last player standing wins immunity. The first meal is beef testicles. Owen eats the meal pretty easily because, he's Owen. Brick eats the meal. Joe eats the meal. And then, finally, Zoe eats the meal. Noah is out. The next dish is Scott's Mutant Quiche from Season 4. Owen eats the meal. Brick eats the meal. And Joe eats the meal. Zoe is out as well. Next meal is Deep Fried Bat. Owen eats the meal. And Joe eats the meal. Brick is out. And then the final challenge is Dolphin Dogs. They both eat it, so then he puts 20 cockroach smoothies, right? Owen drinks 13. Joe only drinks 7. Owen wins immunity. Pretty much simple. So after the challenge, Noah actually talks to Zoe and Bricken tells them if they don't vote Joe, she might win immunity every round after this. And then obviously he already has Owen in an alliance, so Noah's pretty stacked at this point, He knows that Joe's strong, so he's got to get her out. And known as Owen has immunity, so they can't vote him, so she's like the next obvious choice in his opinion. But then, in a final twist, Noah's actually voted out. It's revealed that, Zoe and Brick, they want TDR to have another chance, These guys had 3 seasons, but they only had 1, so they want to use their second chance well. Episode 21, Top Guns. Chris explains that this episode is a boot camp. Chef will put our final 4 contestants through the hardest military challenges he can. If you're unable to do the challenge, Chef will kick you out, or you can ring the bell to give up. Last player in the boot camp wins invincibility. Chef begins with putting them in a flight simulator. He will time them, and whoever has the shortest time is eliminated. Your time ends when you want to leave or you vomit. Owen goes first and lasts about 5 seconds before vomiting everywhere. Let's be honest, he would. Brick, as a cadet, is used to this. And he does 35 seconds without vomiting. Zoe did 4 before she ended, feeling sick. And then Joe goes and does 40 just to screw with everyone. But then, unfortunately, vomits, unlike Brick. But Zoe, being the shortest time, is eliminated. The next challenge is cardio. He says whoever is the last to finish is out. To no one's surprise, let's be honest. Bye, Owen. He's not necessarily the most cardio-addict, and those two are pretty fit. The final challenge is a 1v1 in paintball. And after an hour, neither is. Chris calls a challenge, and he explains that since no one won immunity, then no one will be voted off. The players complain that this made no sense, and Chris tells them to shush, or he'll eliminate both of them for complaining. Moving on to episode 22, The Outback. Chris says that today's challenge is a campy competition. There are 3 challenges, and whoever wins the most / gets the most points wins immunity. However, each person except one wins a challenge, then, the non-winner is out. But if at least one person wins 2, then they win. The first challenge is making fire. Zoe, channels her inner commando and wins, basically being like, haha, boom, and gets a point. Next, canoe around the island. Joe wins. And then the final challenge is hunting. And Owen just is hungry, we'll say. Because I think it'd be really funny, Owen's just hungry. He didn't expect anything. And he just goes to the mess hall. Oh, there's Chef, right? Because they're hunting Chef. And boom, he wins. Brick loses. He's out. He didn't win a challenge just like that. Sorry, Brick. So 23, The Walking Not Quite Dead. Another basically survival challenge. Where they're basically told that this is a zombie apocalypse. And Chris and Chef quickly leave. They have cameras all over the island and make their interns dress up as zombies to scare the campers. And he wants to see who is the last survivor. Whoever is the last survivor wins immunity and picks who comes to them with the final two. After a long while, Owen gets caught trying to get some food, and then Zoe leaves going looking for him. Joe then decides to bring Zoe to the final two, since she lasted longer than Owen, and he's had, multiple chances to win. He's already had 3 chances to win. In fact, he's already made it to the final second place or 1, depending on your country. So, sorry, Owen, you did well. Moving on. Next, we have our Aftermath show. Aftermath Endgame. People just want to know who's going to win, and they also talk about, how long it's been. And then also, Jeff and Bridget are probably, idiots, and are like, everyone's a winner in my mind. And they eliminate campers. There's the Aftermath. It's not much to talk about. It's just, yeah. And then episode 25 and episode 26 are the Rise of Total Drama, part 1 and 2. I didn't really want to. I did write a whole thing, but it's just racing around the island. Again, there's alt winners, but I think with a race around the island, Joe would win, but I think that she'd be an unsatisfying winner. I think Zoe deserves the win. I think she'll be a lot less annoying in this season than she was in the last. But I think also that, she's just a better winner, Joe is just a little bit two-dimensional. But obviously, it's a world where, there's 2 winners, so Joe also won. But yeah. Alright, so that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button. Subscribe. Tell me in the comments if you want to see more stuff like this. Or if, this was fun, but this isn't something I'm super interested in. That's perfectly fine. But if this is something you are interested in, I can make more. They'll take a little bit, but I can. Thanks so much, guys. Peace out. Peace. Bye.